Welcome to our gentle class today. The last day of May here, if you're with me in real time, or whatever day it is when you're on the recording. And today we're looking at the idea of what do we really want. And it can be a kind of a touchy question. What do you really want? Not what do you want, but what do you really want? And the reason it can be a bit tricky is oftentimes we might not even know what we really want, right? If you've grown up or you live in a culture like, many of us, this is the case, that we're kind of told what we should want, and there's a sort of path that we should take, and that's what we should want in life. And if we want things outside of that, it can be a little bit hard to actually feel or even state that. And so tuning into what it is that we desire and what we want is such a powerful practice of setting our compass to where we want to go. Right. So right now, this time, there's been a lot of challenges over the last year, and it's very easy to think about what we don't want, right? And the problem with focusing on what we don't want is that whatever we focus on is where our compass starts to point, right? So if we think we don't want something and we put that in our mind, that's the energy that we're attracting. And so we may not get what we want. And that's the other edgy piece of this, right? How does it feel to want something knowing that you can't have it, right? And maybe you're lucky and you want something that you can have, but oftentimes I want things that I know I can't have. They don't exist, or the person has passed on that I want to spend time with. There's lots of things that we might want that we can't actually have. The point today is not to set a realistic goal or have a realistic dream, but to get in touch with what it really feels like to want, right? To have longing, to have desire. And that way, when we really start to tune into that feeling of wanting and desiring, and we start to set our compass in that direction, it becomes more possible to have what we want. But even still, that is not the goal. The goal is just to tune into and feel our own desire, our own sort of taking that compass point and putting it where we want it to go. So we're going to start seated today. So be comfortable in a chair, on the floor, whatever works for you. And we'll start with a little bit of breath awareness. So kind of where we left off last week, we were working with breath. We're going to pick that up again, carry that thread through as we think about what it is that we really, really want. So coming to your comfortable seat. Again, it doesn't matter if you're on the floor or in a chair, whatever is comfortable. And take a moment. So each week we're building on some of the things that we've learned in previous weeks. So we'll come back to, I think it was week 2, where we tuned into a sense of grounding. So as you come to sit, see if you can tune into the feeling of what is nearest the ground. So whether it's your sit bones in the chair connected to the ground, or your feet literally on the floor, or perhaps even on the earth itself if you happen to be outside. And tuning into that pressure. So feeling where your body meets the ground or what's connected to the ground, such as your chair or cushion. Noticing the sensations of that pressure. Maybe also being aware of the pressure of your hands or arms where they rest against your body. So as we tune into a sense of grounding, we start to feel our bodies, getting our attention out of our heads and a little bit more into our bodies, and then we'll come into the breath. And here we're simply breathing and paying attention to the breath. So there's nothing particular you need to do. You're simply inhaling and exhaling. watching your breath. So you can watch it at one point, perhaps at the nostrils, or maybe feeling it in the throat or the shoulders. Or you could follow the breath from its beginning to its end, follow its path through your body and back out again. So we'll take about a minute watching the breath, bringing your attention back to the breath every time it wanders away. So stay with that for about a minute. And then to break that pattern, or to make a little break as we move on, you can yawn or sigh or just stretch, just transitioning. Good. And then letting go of that awareness of the breath. Of course, you're still breathing. There's a little movement for the head and the neck here, taking the head to one side, sweeping the chin down, gently across the chest. Coming to the other side and then sweeping back. Side to side a few times. Again, tuning into that felt sense. So noticing, what do you feel in your neck? Do you feel any sensations as you move it? What are you aware of? Right, and then let's come back to the center, head over the shoulders, and bring the hands together, palm to palm in front of the heart, or at least in front of the heart center. The heart is a little to the left, but just in the front of the chest. And we're going to ponder this question, the question of today's class. So as you tune into your breath, into your heart now, the space around your heart, dropping in this question. You're not looking for an answer, just dropping in the question. What do I really want? What do I really want? Have you allowed your desires to become narrow and small based on what you think you might get? And can you tap in a little deeper? What do you really want? So again, there's no answer required, no need to look for an answer. Just drop the question in and see what arises over time, maybe sooner, maybe later. So we're going to increase the space around this desire by lifting the hands, taking a breath in, and then spreading the arms out wide, down to your sides, down, coming back to the heart, and again, connecting with that question. What do I really want? Right? You may not know. This may be a challenging question for you. It may bring up a lot of emotion for you if you've been suppressing your desire. So take a moment. What do you really want? And then create some space by lifting your hands, breathing in, and opening the arms to the sides. We'll do that one more time, bringing your hands to your heart. Pausing there, connecting with that question. What do I really want? And then you can take that, lift it, breathing in and sending out some spaciousness all around you. Right. Let's bring the hands back to the heart. We'll do a little movement for the wrists, and it's also a little gesture that we can use as part of our visualization here. So the first part of it is we'll take the palms and place them towards the floor, so the sides of the hands together, and then the backs of the hands come together, and you'll roll your fingertips towards you and keep rolling around until the palms come out in front of you. So that's one part. And then we do the exact opposite. So the backs of the hands come together, fingertips in, down, around, and back to the heart. So as much as this is a wrist movement, we can also use it as a visualization guide for letting go and for opening and creating space. So in the first part, connecting again with your question, what do I really want? And then palms down in front, backs of the hands come together, fingertips roll down towards you and out. So the palms face out like an offering in front of you. And the gesture here is letting go of the limiting beliefs of what's available to you, letting go of the idea that you can't have what you want or whatever might be holding you back. And then from there, we'll reverse, bringing the backs of the hands together, in toward the body, down toward the ground and around, till the hands come back, palm to palm, connecting again with that question, what do I really want? Palms down, we're going to release whatever might be holding us back, rolling the hands around, and then sending that out. And then drawing back in the same way, rolling the hands around, coming back to the heart. What do I really want? And you might feel resistance, you might feel numbness, you might have no idea what you want. That's all okay. Like one more time, palms down, backs of the hands rolling around and releasing, letting go of what might be holding you back, conscious or unconscious. And then drawing in once more towards you that question, what do I really want? Beautiful. Let's give the hands a little shake. We've been sitting for a little while now, so let's get a little more movement happening. We'll come over onto all fours as long as that's comfortable for your knees. If not, you might want to add some padding if that would help. Make sure your wrists are happy. Take breaks always as you need to honor your body, honor your needs. So here, as we often do, to start to move the spine, moving into the cat-cow. So arching and rounding, or arching and then moving from that position to child's pose. You're welcome to coordinate your breathing here if that feels comfortable for you. So you'd inhale, soft elbows, soft shoulders, arching the back, and then rounding the back, exhaling to move back. So you're continuing at your own pace. Carry on. I'm adjust the lighting a little bit. I think it's getting dark. Great. And if child's pose is comfortable and you want to hang out in child's pose for a few breaths, either on your forearms or with your head resting on your hands or the ground, or you could be up with the hips a little higher if that's more comfortable for your knees or hips or low back. You can also keep moving. So whenever I make this suggestion to stay in a pose, usually it's come after we've moved in and out of the pose a few times. And so you can always go back to moving in and out of the pose if that feels better for you. Great, so now coming back to all fours, I'm going to stretch one leg out, breathing in, and then rounding or going to child's pose as you bring that knee down. So as you start to arch the back, stretching the other leg, so we're alternating sides, and then coming back. So reaching out as you lift, rounding or going to child's pose as you bring the knee down. Maybe one more on each side. Right. And then again, if child's pose is comfortable, feel free to stay there for a few breaths. Come back to that breath awareness, feeling the breath in your body. And then again, come back to that question. What do I really want? What do I really want? What do I really want? And then when you're ready, we'll come up slowly. If you've been in child's pose, we'll come back to all fours. And then we'll make our way to standing. There's multiple ways to get there. One of the easier ways is to just place one foot under you, but it could be downward dog, walking forward from there. It could be squatting. You want to find yourself in a forward bend with quite bent knees. And you can either bring your elbows up onto your thighs or let your body relax forward over your legs if that's comfortable. And take a couple of breaths here. Okay. And then we're going to bring the hands up to the knees. Probably take my jacket off now. I'm getting a little warmed up. So bringing your hands onto your thighs just above your knees. And that same movement we were doing with the spine on all fours, we can try here. So a little arch and a little rounding. So make sure your knees are bent, especially for the arch part, because that's going to allow these muscles, the hamstrings, to release a little bit. Rounding, arching, breathing in if you're coordinating your breathing. Exhale, and after your next exhale, you can allow your body to come upright and come into mountain pose. Tadasana is the Sanskrit word, mountain pose, like a mountain. And so when we really know what we want and we can really stand in our own power, right? It's like trying to move a mountain, right? When you know what you want and you've got that determination to get there, it's like moving a mountain to get in your way. So take a moment to feel that solidity of being in this moment, sturdy on the ground, steady like a mountain. And then dropping in that question again, what do I really want? From this place of strength and resilience, what do I really want? Beautiful. Now let's shift weight one foot to the other foot. Just let your weight rock side to side. Get a feeling for the weight shift. Feel your feet on the ground. So again, we're always weaving in these concepts from the other classes, the felt sense, the grounding, coming back to that again, the breath always. Okay. And now as you're rocking from side to side, release one heel. And then bring it down, release the other heel. Bring it down. And you can stay like that, or if you feel like you're ready to balance a little bit more on one foot, you can lift the foot and bring it down. So it's like slow motion, walking on the spot. You might find it's harder than it looks or harder than you think it should be. Right? We're balancing, and it's that slow motion where we have to actually take a little bit of time there. Great. Beautiful. And let's come back to stand, both feet side by side. Bend and straighten your legs a few times. Great. And then give one leg a little shake. Give the other leg a little shake. And then shoulders, arms, hands, wrists, and then you can let your whole body go. Just be careful with your neck. You don't want to fling your head around. Just give your body a little shake, like you're shaking off any tension. And then a big breath in, and let it go. Beautiful. All right, so we're going to practice a little bit more balance today. So really getting into that sense of grounding and strength in the legs. And so here we'll take the arms overhead. And as you're bringing the arms down, you can lift one leg. Now you could keep your toes on the ground if you like, or you could lift your toes, or you could even bring the knee right up in close to your chest. And then as the leg goes down, the arms come up. And then other side. So the arms are coming down. You can lift your leg. Remember, you don't have to lift it all the way. Arms go up. Arms come down, knee comes up. Arms go up, leg goes down. So again, you could leave your toes on the ground, make it really easy. You're still working on balance there. Or lift right up. Good, maybe stay for one breath. And then the other side. Check in with your balance. It's not usually exactly the same on both sides. Sometimes it's easier on one side than the other. Good, let's do a forward bend now. So as you're coming down with the arms, let your body come forward. The hands can stop on the knees, the shins, the feet. And then you'll come up. Breathing in as you come up if you want to coordinate your breathing. And then exhaling as you release forward. Great. Let's make this the last one. Again, if you want, you can stay this time. If you want to keep moving, if that feels better for you, that's a wonderful option as well. And maybe one more breath in this forward bend if you're still staying. And then when you're ready, you'll reach up with a breath in. And release again. Coming back to mountain pose. Let's bring the hands back to the heart. And let's tune in again to that question, just dropping that question in without needing to answer. What do I really want? What do I really want? If something bubbles to the surface, great, let that be. But keep asking the question. There may be more lurking beneath the surface. Okay, and then let's take that question from the heart, lift it, give it some space. Reaching out to the sides, reach all the way down to the ground as if we could give that space to that question and then lifting all the way back up. Bringing the hands together and gathering that good energy back to the heart. Take a breath in and release. Right, so we're going to work a little bit more adding on to this lifting one leg, lifting the other, and work with some of the warrior poses. So lots of those strong kinds of, I don't know if you could hear that loud car going by with the engine going. I'm not sure how much Zoom filters out, but it was really loud. So yeah, working with a warrior in these strong standing postures to really help anchor us in this determined space of knowing what we want, or at least inquiring. We may not know yet. So you want to be a little bit towards the front of your space here, so you want to have room to step back behind you. So orient yourself however works for you. You want to have a couple of feet of space behind you. So you wouldn't want to start with your back close to the wall. So from here, we'll raise the arms up and then bring one knee in any amount. So again, your foot could stay on the floor, you could lift the leg, and then from there, we're going to take that leg and step back. We're turning the foot to the side, and now this is the legs for warrior. We'll lift the arms to come up into warrior one. So feel your feet on the ground, and then we'll release forward, pressing into the feet, letting the body come over the leg, coming up again. If you want to coordinate your breathing here, inhale up, exhale forward. If you want a little bit more stretch, you want to be careful not to press your leg back, but you could move that leg a little straighter now, if that feels like a good stretch for you. And then again, maybe stay for a couple of breaths, or the option is, of course, to keep moving dynamically with this pose. When you're ready, we'll come all the way up again. You'll step onto your front foot. As you bring your arms down, knee is coming forward, and then you'll release your foot, arms come up, and we'll go right into a forward bend. So hands anywhere on the legs where it's comfortable for you to reach. We'll come all the way up. And then exhale, hands down to your sides. Pause for a moment. Tune back into your body, to the ground, to your breath. And then this question, what do I really want? Just dropping it into your heart as we bring our effort into the same movement on the other side. So we're going to inhale and lift. Good. Exhale, the other knee comes up. The other knee. You need to step back with that foot, and you'll turn that back foot out a little bit so that your heel can be on the ground. So just to, whatever angle is comfortable for you. There's a little bit of bend in the front knee as you then lift the arms. So pressing into your feet, feel that grounding connection to the earth, and then you can come forward over that leg, keeping the knee bent, testing how much stretch feels good for you. And then if you want to start moving that leg a little straighter as you come forward, if you're craving a bit more stretch, feel free to do that. And just as I mentioned on the other side, be cautious that you're not hyperextending your leg by pushing your knee back. The invitation is to stay if that feels good for you for a couple of breaths, or keep moving dynamically if that is a better option for you. And then again, we'll come back up to warrior one. You're going to step onto that front foot. Bring the knee through as you bring the hands to meet the knee. And then foot down, arms up. And we'll come right into another forward bend. Exhaling as you go forward. Again, if you're coordinating breath, that's an option. Breathing, of course, itself is not an option. Coming up. One more time, releasing forward. And we'll come all the way up. Bringing the palms together, gathering that energy back to the heart, putting your effort into this idea of what do I really want? And when I stay with myself, with my own longing, and put my effort into the practice, it tells my nervous system that I'm willing to work for what I want. I'm willing to go for it, right? But so often we think, I want that, but I'm too lazy. Or I want that, but I'm not sure it'll work out, right? So when we put our effort into our bodies while we're imagining this question, our body says, okay, you're willing. You're willing to do what it takes to get what you want. All right, let's take a breath in, lift up. And exhale to release. Beautiful. Again, bend and straighten the legs a few times. Good. Give it a little shake. And we're going to keep working with warrior today. So we're going to look at the second version of warrior, which is very creatively named Warrior 2. The other one is Warrior 1. And guess what? We'll also probably get a chance to look at Warrior 3 today. So Warrior 2 is a little bit different. We'll just go through the same sequence and we'll move into Warrior 2 from there. So again, you want to have that little bit of space behind you. Let's take a breath in and take the arms up overhead. Bring the palms together, bring them to the heart. And as you pause here before we move into our sequence again, feel your heels go down, feel the earth beneath you. That sense of your feet making contact with the ground. Feel your breath, take one big breath. And then bringing in that question, what do I really want? And then inhale, lifting the arms. Exhale, we're going to bring one knee in toward the chest. Stepping back, Warrior 1. So just as we did exactly the same last time. And then this time, let's lower the arms. So right now, my shoulders and my front foot are pointing in the same direction. I'm going to leave my front foot pointing in that direction. And I'm going to start to turn my shoulders and my hips a little bit towards the other direction, 90 degrees. Now, if your knee starts to come with you, don't turn quite so much. So turn as much as you can, and you can play around with your back foot to get the angle that works just right for you. And ultimately, you want to end up with this bent knee. And this is probably the priority here, is this knee is over your ankle, front to back and side to side. I'm just going to move that away so you can see a little bit better maybe. So front to back. Okay. So I'm not going past my ankle, but I'm also not twisting in or out with my leg. So it's straight in line, knee and foot. All right. So from here, this is the positioning for Warrior 2. The arms can come to the sides. And it's a strong pose. It's meant to feel like a bit of effort if you hold it for some time. We won't hold it too long, and certainly you can come out whenever you need to. And if you're having a hard time with shoulders, let your elbows drop a little bit, turn your palms up, and that takes a lot of the pressure off the shoulders. Good. If you want to feel more effort here, you can drop down a little lower in the pose. Come into your question, what do I really want? And then turn your head to look over your front hand, the hand that's over your bent leg, with laser focus. What do I really want? Breathing, feeling your breath in your body. There's no answer needed. Right, feel the effort of this pose and dedicate that effort to really discovering what it is you really want. And then we're going to add a bit of flow here. So reaching the hand down towards the bent leg, can come to the knee or inside the knee. And then reaching back the other way, hand to the back thigh, other arm reaching up. So bringing your own ease and flow into the effort. So it's still work for the legs, but can we find ease in the effort here? Let your body flow side to side, find your own rhythm. Make sure you're breathing. Great. And then you can come down to the side with the bent leg, placing the hand on the knee, or if you want a little bit more, it could be the forearm on the leg. This arm that's up can stay up, or if your shoulder needs a bit of a break, you can bring it behind your back. And take a few breaths here to really lengthen this line from this shoulder or arm, if the arm is up, all the way down to your foot pressing into the ground. Breathe and create space for what you really want in life. Good, reaching the arm up. Coming back up to Warrior 2. If you've taken your feet a little wider as I have, this next part's going to be trickier, but see what you can manage. So we're going to pivot back. We're going to take the back arm, lift it as we lift the back heel and turn back. And I'm going to step a bit forward to the stance facing the short edge of your mat where we started in Warrior One. Right. From Warrior One, we'll reach the arms up. We'll step forward, bringing the knee in. And then releasing the foot down, arms up. We're going to go into our forward bend now. Bending forward to release the low back. Coming back up. And maybe one more forward bend here. It's always nice to come back to equilibrium and alignment when we've been doing something that's asymmetrical. You can bring the hands together now and bring them back to the heart. You take a moment to connect to what do I really want? Dedicating the sequence, the effort of the sequence to that question, that query. Breathing in, lifting up. And exhale, bringing the other knee in towards your chest. Stepping back, Warrior One. We're going to turn to the side. So opening that back foot if you need to, maybe making your stance wider if you want to work a little bit more here. That knee of the bent leg is right out in line with your toes. It's not waving in or out here. Reaching arms from center of the heart out to the sides. Turning your head to look over the hand that's over the bent knee. Chin slightly down. Feel the strength. Feel the laser focus of your determination. Once you know deeply what you want, there is no stopping you. Feel the ground. Feel the strength. Feel the effort. And then bring some flow and movement into it. Reaching down to the bent knee side. Reaching up to the straight leg side. Let your body flow. Flow with the effort. And find ease even in the effort. If you like, you can come into that side bend and stay, so the hand or the forearm comes to the thigh. Other arm is either reaching up or you could bring it behind you as long as that's comfortable. Again, breathing into that long side, lengthening by pressing your heel into the earth and growing the crown of your head away from your heel. When you're ready to lift, that arm can come up first, letting the body follow back to Warrior Two. We'll lift the back heel and pivot on that foot as we swing the arm over. You can realign your feet and come back into Warrior One. From Warrior One, we'll step onto the front foot. Hug that back leg in toward your chest, any amount. As your foot comes down, the arms go up. And we'll move into that forward bend. Exhaling forward. Coming up with the breath in. Take as many extra breaths as you need. Or just move and breathe freely. Repeat a couple more times. And at this time, if it feels good to you to stay a few breaths, if you want to stay, go ahead and stay. Tune back into your breath here. Feel the movement maybe even in the back of your body as you breathe. Let your head release as long as that's comfortable for your neck. Right, and coming all the way up. Bringing the palms together. Bringing the hands back to the heart. And pausing there again. Connect with the question, what do I really want? What do I really want? What do I really want? Feel your feet on the ground. Feel the strength in your legs, the lifts through your heart, through the crown of your head. And then taking the arms, lifting them up. Big breath in. Exhale and let the arms float down to your sides. Great. So we're going to work with the third warrior pose. We're going to come at it a little bit differently because this pose is a little more challenging, and there is a balance component that's quite a bit more challenging than the other two warriors where both feet are on the ground. So in this one, we're lifting one leg, but there's options. So you can make it easier or you can make it more challenging. So if you happen to be looking at the screen, maybe just pause for a second and have a look at where we're going. So in Warrior 3, we're going to be starting just by taking a smaller sort of warrior stance. And then from there, we'll shift to the front foot as we've been doing, but instead of bringing that leg forward, we're going to take the arms, lift them to the sides, and start to lift that leg. So as that leg lifts, my upper body can go forward, but I'm only going to go forward in line with my leg. So we're not going to leave the foot on the floor and come into this position and call that Warrior 3. If you think about from the crown of your head down to the back foot as one line that doesn't really bend, right? So it all moves together. Now, I have a handy wall here. I can use that if I need it. If you've got a wall or a chair or something that's going to help you, please use it. And really find that balance, that strength, and that nice long line that lifts all together. So let's try it together. So starting from your mountain pose, I'll go to the side so you can be reminded if you need to see. You'll step 1 foot forward, doesn't matter which. Just a fairly small step. And then as you bring the weight onto that foot, you can start to lift the back heel. Take your arms out to the sides, find a lift in your heart. And then think about as that leg lifts, your body may tip forward a little. Now, if you want to keep your foot on the ground for balance, you can do that. Think about lifting your heart. So it's actually a bit of a back bend, right? You're going to maintain that little bit of a lift in the heart, a little bit of a back bend as you come forward, any amount. There's no rule. You don't have to go all the way parallel to the ground, but if that's available to you, you could. And then when you come back, you'll step back, take that little step back to Warrior 1. Pause there in this baby warrior, so it's a little shorter stance. Feel your feet on the ground. And then release your arms. And you can bring your feet together. Just give a little shake. So with these strong, really focused balancing postures, it's easy to bring tension, to clench the jaw or to hold yourself rigidly, trying not to fall down. It actually doesn't help. It's all in our mind. So find a little more ease, find a little more flow as we go into the pose on the other side. And just see if you can relax your jaw, relax your shoulders, and find the ease in the effort. So whenever you're ready, whichever foot you weren't stepping forward with last time, you can step forward with that foot. The back foot might turn out a little bit. It doesn't matter because we're not really staying here. We're using it as a transition. So we're going to come up into our baby warrior. As you step onto your front foot, you can start to take the arms to the sides. Think about the leg lifting first before you tip forward at all. So you'll feel your back muscles engaged. You can keep a soft knee on the standing leg. And if there's anywhere to go, go forward. If that feels like too much for you, just stay there with your foot on the ground and your heart lifted. That's your Warrior 3. Right? If you need a wall or a chair to help you, do. If you lose your balance, don't lose your cool. Just come back into the pose. And try to come out with control when you do come out. And when you come out, we'll step back into Warrior 1. Settle into the earth in warrior one. Feel yourself in this position and then release. Stepping the feet back together. Again, give a little shake. And we'll do a few more forward bends to release, because that warrior three is actually a back bend. Even though your body's pretty straight, that back bend really engages those muscles in the back of the body. So we'll give them a nice stretch now. So taking a breath in and reaching up. Exhale, bend your knees. That's going to allow your back to feel much more at ease as you come forward. And then lifting as you reach back up. You can breathe in as you come up, breathe out as you go down if that works for you, or just move and breathe freely. Now, if it feels good to you to stay in the forward bend, please feel free to do that. Again, it could be hands or elbows on the thighs, holding the arms or just letting them hang down. Try to let your head release forward unless there's a reason you don't want your head below your heart, like any kind of head or blood pressure, high blood pressure. Now we're going to make our way back to the ground, and you can do that however you want. If a squat works for your knees and ankles, you might bring your fingertips down and slowly bend your knees to come to a squat. If that is too much for your knees or ankles, you might just bring your knees under you and come to the ground that way. Right, so from kneeling, or from squatting, I should say, you could bring your knees back down, or however it makes sense for you to get to the ground. You might do a little movement here, a side to side, kind of wigging and wagging of the hips, maybe circling. So find your own flow here. Let your body move. You tune into, what does my body want right now? Right? And see if you can tune into that movement that would feel really good right now. Doesn't have to be on all fours. That was just a suggestion. If there's something else that feels good, absolutely feel free. Take another minute or so with whatever movement you're enjoying. Eventually we'll end up on our backs, so if you're ready, you can go there and there's no rush. For those of you who are enjoying moving around from all fours or wherever you're at right now, feel free to take another couple of minutes as others start to settle. And when you are ready, you can find your way to a position on your back, either with bent legs or straight legs, with the hands resting on your torso, maybe one on the belly, one on the rib cage. And you're simply going to tune back into the natural rhythm and flow of your own breath without trying to change it. Feel the movement of your breath. And if you're still getting there, don't worry, we'll stay here for a few minutes. So no rush, take your time. Let your attention rest on the breath, coming and going. And then if it feels right for you, we'll come into a gentle twist for the spine. So arms can be out to the sides and knees moving in one direction and then back to center and then to the other direction. If it feels right for you, as your knees go one way, you can let your head release the other way. And then back to center and switch. If your body says yes to staying in the twist for a few breaths on each side, feel free to do that. And if what you really want is to keep moving or to be finished with the twist, then choose that option. And again, there's absolutely no rush, but whenever you feel complete with the twist and you feel ready to move on, we'll move to Shavasana. But first, before that, you want to bring the knees into the chest and make sure that you're bringing your spine, the hips, and everything back into an equal position, a balanced or aligned position. And you can do this by moving the knees forward and back, hands on the knees, maybe coordinating with breath if you like, inhaling as the knees go away, exhaling as you bring them in. Feel the ground. Feel how your body shifts its weight as you do this movement. And then maybe holding the knees and rocking side to side, or you might clasp your hands over your legs if that's available to you. Any movement that would feel good to you here. What does your body want? And then from there, as you're ready, we will start to make our way to Shavasana. So if you want to lie down, you can bring your feet to the floor, maybe stretch your legs out or keep them bent. Or it's always an option if you feel that it would be better for you to sit for Shavasana, you are certainly welcome to do that. That can be helpful if you have somewhere or something you need to do afterwards and you want to stay alert and you're maybe tired, worried that you might fall asleep if you lie down, that kind of thing. So take your time, get settled, move your body as you need to, props as you need to. If you feel at all chilly, it's that kind of day where it seems to be warmer outside than inside, at least in my house. So make sure that you're cozy if you're inside or wherever you are. Right, and then letting yourself settle. Bring a little more focus and attention now to your exhalation, to the phase of your breath where you're letting go. And as you focus on your exhalation, feel your body start to drop deeper into the earth with each breath out. And allow the muscles around your face, your jaw, your scalp, your neck to release. Exhaling, feel your shoulders drop down, your arms and hands release. Exhaling and feel the upper back, upper chest area relax and let go. Softening down into your belly and lower back. As you exhale, feel the weight of your pelvis dropping into the earth, the muscles of your buttocks, hips, lower belly, pelvic floor, all softening and relaxing. Let your thighs go. Feel your thighs release. Your knees soften. Calves and ankles letting go. As you exhale again, let your whole body soften. Feel the earth beneath you, the support of the earth. As you bring into your mind one last time, what do I really want? Just letting the question linger, letting it be, letting it drop in, without the need to answer, to dig, or to find anything. What do I really want? Maybe there's no idea yet. Keep asking the question. It can take lots of inquiry to really discover what we really want. So starting that process by just letting that question be. And I'll share with you a short chant today. And this chant is really about letting go. And it's about letting go of what holds us back from moving forward in life, from getting what we really want, from reaching toward what we really want. What holds us back? And so this chant is really about letting that go, like ripe fruit falls from a vine when it's ready to go. Om Triambakaya Jamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanat Mrityurmukshiyamamritat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So now let the question go. Just let it go. Trust that you've planted the seed and that you've started to point your compass in the direction that you want it to go simply by asking yourself the question. Trust that over time, if you stay open to this query, that way will be shown to you. Your desire map of the world showing you where it is you really want to go, where you really want to be, what you really want in this life. Take a few deep breaths now. If you feel ready, you can start to stretch and move. Stretching and moving in any way that would feel good. Maybe eventually rolling over onto one side, using that position as a transition to support yourself to come back to sitting whenever you're ready. And if you've decided to stay a little longer in Shavasana, please enjoy, understand that your body knows what it wants, and stay with that. And if you've come to sit, you can bring your palms together at your heart. You could do this lying down too, if you like. So trusting that that seed has been planted. And throughout the week, you might dip your toes back into this question: what do I really want? And remember, it's not about the answer, but tuning into your own desire, your own longing. And we're often so cut off from our own longing, and there's something really beautiful about making that connection. Namaste.